So, hi everybody. My name is Renee Winston, and I am excited to be here today with you guys talking about this particular subject. I have notes here, so just in case I could go over everything that I want to go over. And I have my trusty fan because I do get hot, and I have my water because I do get thirsty talking a lot. So, thanks again for joining. And my name is Renee Winston again, and I am the founder of Inner Ginger, and I will get a little bit more involved in that. But my topic today is I really want to talk about what's been happening on the news and what's been showing up in social media is in regards to dealing with infertility and being childless. And if anybody wants to come in and join in with the conversation, please come on board. I would love for you to chat if you are one that experiencing both of these, if you're dealing with infertility and you're childless at the same time. And that's been my story. That's been my life for my whole adult life. I am now, and I tell people my age, I am 51 years old. And I'm at a point now in my life where I am still dealing with the fact of being dealing with infertility and being childless. I want to welcome in Tracy. Hi, Tracy.
Hi.
How
Can you hear
are
me?
you?
I'm good. How are you?
Well, awesome. Thank you. I think this is a fabulous platform. It's fabulous. I love it. Well, I'm going to tell you a little bit about my story, and then I'm going to hand it over to Tracy. Maybe she could share something about her experience too with it. That's okay?
Great.
Okay, great. Awesome. And so I'm 51 years old, and I'm still dealing with it, still experiencing it, and experiencing on a different level right now, because before I used to deal with the fact of, oh, you don't have any kids, or you don't know anything about being a mother, or, just sit down, go somewhere. And that really hurt, because even though I didn't birth anything or birth a little human, I still can contribute. I still have a nurturing ability because I'm a woman, and I have this nurturing ability. So that doesn't discount anything about who I am and what I am. So I used to get a little upset about that. But now I'm at a point in my age now where I'm dealing with, oh, are you a grandmother yet? I'm like, oh, gosh. Oh, here we go again. We're going to start this cycle again. And I guess that's a part of life. That's part of things that we need to deal with when we are in this particular situation. The reason why I'm sharing this story is because, like I said, in the news, you read about Gabrielle Union, who is now married to LeBron, and she's having a hard time concealing. You have Christy, who is married to John Legend, and she's having a difficult time conceiving, and Tyra, who is still single and who is deciding to have kids, but it just doesn't come naturally. Like society thinks that pregnancy is supposed to come naturally, and I know there's some types of intervention. There's IVF and all that type of medical intervention to help women to get pregnant, or couples to get pregnant, but Tyra being single, and I guess she thought she could take the natural route, and it just wasn't happening for her. So this is now becoming into the forefront, and I'm so happy and so excited about it, because it is about time. It's about time for us women, and there's men out there too who are dealing with infertility because they don't have enough of a sperm count to help produce the baby. And they're also child, because I know a couple of men who are in that particular situation. And so now it's time for us to express, because it has been hidden. We don't talk about it. It's hush hush. It's taboo. We're not supposed to talk. We're supposed to go hide in the corner or be that woman with the 24 cats in the house. No, we are vibrant, happy, beautiful, loving women who wants to love everybody. And just because we didn't produce a little person doesn't take away from us as to who we are as a woman, has this vibrant, sexy, loving woman that could really make a major impact in the world. So that's a little bit of my introduction. And Tracy, I'm going to hand it over to you and share a little bit about you and why did you come on board?
Renee, congratulations on your first blab.
Thank
It's fun, isn't
you.
it?
Beautiful.
So I was just, I'm actually sitting in my office at home and doing some work and checking email and thought I'd see. I was going to actually schedule a blab for tomorrow night, so I thought I'd
Uh-huh.
see who was on, and I was checking out the categories that you can choose to set up the blab. And infertility is of interest to me recently for a variety of reasons.
Hmm.
But I actually did have my daughter, who's 16 now, through IVF. So I went through the
Congrats.
struggle so long ago. I almost forgot about it, really.
Yeah.
And it's one that luckily we had a baby from it, so we made it through. You know, and it was a long struggle though. But so I just saw the topic and thought, oh, maybe I'll pop in there and see what she's talking about. So Renee, what do you do, or how did you pick that topic and or think I'm going to do a blab about this?
Yeah, yeah. Well, I am a maven, call myself, and
Okay,
I'm a wellness maven for the lady parts
okay,
because the lady parts has been my focus even before I started this business. It has been a part of me all my life. I suffered from endometriosis.
okay.
I've had cysts on my ovaries and I have fibroids. But it was the endometriosis that caused my infertility.
Oh, okay.
And when I was, right now, I'm in menopause. I call it pleasurable menopause because I'm not in pain anymore. The pain is gone. I got into this business because I want to help other women
Mm-hmm.
who are dealing with infertility, but not helping them to get pregnant because I'm past that, but being in the lifestyle of living with infertility.
Right.
Because it's a whole different ball game because our bodies never went through a pregnancy. It
Okay.
didn't go through that hormonal shift
Mm-hmm.
that normally a woman body will go through when she's pregnant.
Okay.
So I've been studying how does infertility affects a woman's health, and I'm still going through the study. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I'm still figuring it out, and I'm reading reports in regards to the perfect example are nuns who are not supposed to have any type of
Right.
intercourse.
Right.
And as they get older, how does it affect their health?
So I'm interested
Um,
to find out what you're finding out or how you're finding research on the subject or
yeah, I'm just doing internet searches, and I just came across one where it talked about nuns who are up in age and how their health is. Now they're pretty much healthy, but as we know in the holistic world, you could take those standardized lab tests, and until you take it to a functional medicine doctor who can narrow the scope and really see what's going on with your body, we won't know.
huh.
So these tests that they did on these on these nuns are very on a broad spectrum.
Mhm.
So I'm using myself as the guinea pig,
Mhm.
and find out
Sure.
how infertility affects my health and my well-being.
Sure.
And as I go through my 50s and my 60s, and Lord takes me through my 70s and 80s and 90s, see how that comes into play.
Mhm. That's interesting. Interesting.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, so what is infertility? It's basically not being able to conceive naturally through sexual intercourse, the old-fashioned way. And after a year of trying, if you cannot conceive, then you're considered dealing with infertility. And
Yeah.
there are steps that, as you know, there's steps that you can do in regards to have a baby or to conceive to have a baby and get pregnant. Now, Tracy, you said you went through IVF.
Yes. Uh-huh.
Okay. And was it successful the first time?
It was. Yeah. The first
Oh,
time.
congratulations. That is,
We tried some other stuff for years before that, so it was a long haul, but it was
yeah,
successful the first time we had the embryos implanted.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. What scared, now, for me, I didn't get married till I was 42. So, uh, the thought of taking a little one at age 47 to kindergarten or even 48 was not happening.
I know, I know.
So, I had to give that up,
Yeah,
so to
yeah.
speak.
That's a big part of actually, I think what you're talking about, that's a big part of it is actually just dealing with you're not going to have a child.
Yeah,
You're not going to give birth to a child. I see.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And
It's a
it's
big emotional thing.
it is because I keep thinking that I will never smell my baby's breath or kiss its little feet or, rub its back. And just to look at this little person that is a part of me, I will never know that. I will never experience it. And I had to go through the emotions of just coming to grips with that. And some days are good, some days are not good. Even though I'm in menopause right now, I still have those feelings because I'm a woman.
Hmm.
Point blank, I'm a woman. Um, so that is what infertility is. After a year of trying, if you do not conceive successfully, then there's other methods that people will go through to become pregnant. Why am I dealing with infertility? Is like I said, I have endometriosis, and that's where the I keep pronouncing it wrong, but the tissue that's inside the uterus somehow, some way goes outside of the uterus and it lands elsewhere in the body. So it lands on some women in the lungs, it lands in their outside the uterus, like in their ovaries, on the fallopian tube, sometimes on the bladder, and it causes a tremendous amount of pain. I was in pain. I had to get on birth control. And even though I couldn't get pregnant, I had to get on birth control to monitor my period to come down on a Friday. And funny thing is, your period, a lot of people don't know or realize this, but your period is somewhat connected to your liver. Your liver wakes up
Yeah, I
at
know, I
about,
remember that.
yeah, it was crazy when I found out. My liver will wake up, actually go to sleep at about 4 o'clock. So my period will come down at 4 o'clock, which was strange.
Well,
Your
what do you
liver
do?
actually wakes up at about 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning because it has to finish digesting the food that you ate.
Okay.
So, and that's why we go through, that's why we sleep and we go through a fast in the morning. That's why when we wake up, we got to have breakfast. Digressing. So my period used to come down at 4. I made sure that I took the pill so that it will come down at 4 o'clock on a Friday so I could be in bed Friday, Saturday, Sunday night so I could get up and barely go to work on Monday. I would be doubled over, tremendous pain. I felt like someone was doing like, remember those Indian burns kids used to give each other? I mean, it felt
Terrible.
horrible. And
So
this was,
you're done with that. That's
I'm done.
done.
It was every single month, 436 times in my lifetime.
Yeah.
I had to count it. It was crazy. 2 years ago, I've been blessed with menopause, and it's been a beautiful experience. The only thing I need to do is fan myself
Yeah.
because I get hot, and that's about it.
Well,
That's about it. It's
much better than
beautiful.
having to be in bed all weekend, right?
Oh my goodness. And this was every single month
Yeah.
because of the endometriosis. I had 2 operations, they did nothing.
Wow.
There's a lot of women, I think it's about 1.5 or 1.6 million women who suffer from endometriosis. And
Wow.
for some of them, it causes infertility.
Okay.
So where I'm at now in my life, I'm totally enjoying my life now. I can wear white pants, you know,
That's good.
and I don't have to worry about the pain.
Hmm.
But when I was in the midst of having a cycle, my period, I had this constant reminder that Renee, you are infertile. Renee, you are
Oh,
childless.
yeah.
Every single month, and that's painful in itself. I had to experience that reminder every single month.
Renee, did you seek some help, like some counseling or some meditation or something to help dissipate those feelings? You just
Now
buried
I
it,
am.
grinned it, huh? You just
I
went
just
through it.
buried and gritted because you know what? When I found out that I was dealing with infertility and experiencing being childless, I reached out to groups.
Oh,
At
okay.
the time, I was single,
Mm-hmm.
and there was one particular group that I reached out to, and they told me no because I wasn't married,
Okay.
and that devastated me. And I was like, you know
Yeah.
what? Forget this. There's no help for me. I couldn't find anybody to talk to. I couldn't find anybody to share with.
Mm-hmm.
And that's hard. It's
Yeah,
hard
sure.
to experience those things and not have anybody
Mhm.
to talk to about
Yeah,
or to even
support group.
share.
Yeah, it's important to have some people that you can at least share how you feel, or or it's more important if you can find someone that's going through something similar, and you can share each of your experiences and how you're dealing with those feelings and thoughts you have with it.
Yeah. And I couldn't find anybody that I felt comfortable enough to talk to. It was actually when I got married, when I met my husband, it was really the first time I really opened up
Mm-hmm.
about it, and he understood, and he still loved me,
Yeah.
and that and it just made me want to express it, but I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't. It wasn't until about 3 months ago that I actually shared it with my sister because she had no idea. I come from a family that has 10 nieces and nephews, 10 of them.
I'm sending a lot of love your way, Renee.
Thank you. Thank
That's
you.
why I just came by here today to say, oh,
Thank
you're a
you.
loved person, Renee.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Um, and I always tell the people because they were asking, "Oh, Renee, when you're gonna have kids?" I tell them, "No, my family contribute to the world's population. I don't need to add." That
Yeah,
was my way out of it.
right, right.
So, uh, and and so right now, I'm living my life as beautifully as I can, and to actually share my story and help other women to create that space for expression, because when I was really in the deep of it, I didn't have that space for expression. I couldn't
Yeah,
share it with
yeah,
anybody.
yeah. Well, I'm glad you're very courageous.
Thank
So
you.
you just stepped right in here.
I did. Thank you.
Good
I
job.
really do appreciate it. And it actually leads me to talking about being childless.
Hmm.
Um, yes, it's pretty much hurt. It hurts.
Yeah.
And now I'm at that age where I will get the question about grandchildren. My husband, he has two beautiful boys who are 21 and 18, so they're grown folks.
Yeah.
And so they're doing wonderful. They living their lives. They're thriving. They're in college, which is a beautiful thing. They still have their mother. You know,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
will never overstep my
Yeah.
boundaries
Yeah. Yeah. You're not
with them
gonna.
and with her. But when, they've been one or two times when, especially the oldest boy, came to me for some advice, and
Hmm.
I really appreciate it
Yeah.
because it gave me that little mothering thing that I don't get to experience too much. So,
Yeah.
um, but in being childless, there are different types of childlessness. One is child free. Now, in the world that I'm in, child free means that you decided not to have kids. And that's
Okay.
a beautiful thing. Some people, I mean, I really respect you for taking that initiative, being authentic about yourself, and saying that kids, not for me. And I
Hmm.
applaud that.
Yeah.
I totally respect that. So that's child free. You decided that you're not gonna bring children into this world, and that's a beautiful thing. There's also women who are childless like me, and there's a little tangent on that, which is I'm childless by circumstance because of endometriosis. Some women are childless just because they're in a marriage relationship and their spouse, their husband, doesn't want any kids, or vice versa. They don't want to have any kids. So that's a different type of childlessness. And then there's childlessness of oh, I forgot the third one. It'll come to me. It'll come to me. But I know that in regards to childlessness, it's really hurtful. I mean, I remember I'm live in Houston. I'm from New York.
Oh, okay.
And I was on a subway. And this was when I was in the deepness of dealing with it. And I got on the subway, the L train, going on the L train, stepped into the door, sat down, went to the next stop. When the next stop opened up, it was like surreal. It was like 5 women with baby carriages came onto the train. And I was like,
the universe was speaking to you.
I'm like, go. I had to jump off the train. I couldn't deal with it. It was painful to experience that.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't go down the baby aisle at a supermarket and I couldn't even take the smell of baby powder because it just brought out all those
how have you
emotions.
turned the corner from those feelings and those thoughts?
What turned the corner was when I actually hit menopause.
So then you had an acceptance, a surrender to
exactly.
This is my life. This is the way it's going to be.
Exactly. I couldn't live my life continuously being in, I wouldn't say fear, but just being, I just I couldn't even be around children. It was that bad. Yeah. And like I said, I have 10 nieces and nephews. I'm very close to 3 of them, and they're like my little babies, but I actually never, ever changed a diaper.
Well.
Until about 5 years ago, I had my first diaper changing experience. I know a lot of parents out there say, well, you're not missing anything.
It's a good one and worth it because there can be some nasty diaper changing going on. Oh my God.
You'll be amazed what's come out, babies. Yeah. But yeah, I just had my first diaper change like 5 years ago, and it was, for me.
You should go volunteer at some place to get all those experiences that you think you missed.
I know. Now I can. Before I couldn't. I couldn't even look at babies.
It's too hard.
Now I can. That's a good thing. Maybe I should volunteer just to get the baby experience. I mean, I fed babies, but I've never changed.
If you're emotionally ready, I wouldn't want to put you in a position where, you go somewhere and then you're like, oh, this is a baby I never had. You don't want to be in that position. But if you're strong enough spiritually, there's a lot of love just to hold a baby or just to, be around other people's babies or like change those dirty diapers.
I know the diapers. I'm gonna bring on Stephanie, who is coming on board.
Oh, good.
Hello, hi. Stephanie.
Hey, ladies.
Hello. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. So, tell us about yourself.
Well, I'm not childless, but I thought it was an interesting topic when I saw it. I'm adopted by. My mom couldn't have babies. And she kind of went through a similar experience as you, Renee, where she had ovarian cysts, but it had the painful cycles, the infertility, and she actually ended up having a hysterectomy about maybe 10 years before I was even born. So I can definitely relate just from hearing your stories. It's almost like talking to my mom. Because he could not bear to be around my cousins, and I am number 27 of my grandmother's grandchildren. So
I thought you were going to say kids,
especially that day and age. Like, if you don't have a farm, don't have that many kids.
Yeah.
But she totally could not be around all of my cousins and stuff because it was so painful. And she eventually kind of became withdrawn. She didn't want to go to family functions as much. She didn't want to, my parents were in Connecticut, but my family was in South Carolina. They didn't want to go to South Carolina as much because it affected both her and my dad, because there was nothing my dad could really do, and not to say it was a problem, but so to speak, the problem was on her end. So she carried a lot of guilt because she couldn't produce a child for him. And it wasn't until they finally adopted me that, things kind of smoothed over. So I was wondering, like, and I think the question was actually posed in the chat, like, have you ever considered adoption? Is that an option that you have considered or would still do?
Well, I did take a look at adoption back when I was living in New York and I was still single. And I had this notion in my head that in regards to adopting a baby, you had to be a family unit, a husband and a wife. And so I did go. I sought out the information. I took a look at it. And I started looking at my surroundings. I was living in the Bronx, the boogie down Bronx. And I was living in a very tight, restricted 1-bedroom apartment. And I looked at my finances. And my finances said, really? And I know that in regards to even a woman who's able to conceive, and if she conceives and she could be in that 1-bedroom apartment, that tight 1-bedroom apartment, and have like zero cash in the bank and have a job that's barely paying her, if she's going to have a baby, she will make a way for that child. For me, I had a choice. And I chose not to because in my belief, and I believe this since I was a little child, because I experienced it, that my child, whoever my child is, needs to have a mommy and a daddy. And because I was single, I felt that I did not want to bring adopt a child into that mess, because it was a mess. And so I thought about adoption. Like I said, I went through the process of it. I even met wonderful people. I mean, I met this one lady who was, she was a white woman who only adopted black boys. And I was like, God bless you. Thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, it was beautiful. But for me, I don't want to say that I was selfish, but I just didn't want to, for my own beliefs, a child should have a mother and a father. I know things happen, no doubt, but that's my belief. And that even though it was painful, I wasn't ready because my life was just not ready. And I realized that because when my mom died in 2003, I was 39 years old. And I just realized that when she passed away, I realized I was living my life with my head in the sand or my head up in the clouds. I was not doing what I was supposed to be doing for myself at 39 years old. I just was plumbing through life like I had no care in the world. And when my mom died, I realized that I was using her as my crutch. Mother's Day was for her. It was never for me. And so I realized that I was not living my life ultimately because I had those issues. And then I was thinking, okay, if I'm having these horrible bad periods that I need to shut life down completely for a weekend, who's going to take care of the baby? Who's going to take care of the child? Because I couldn't do anything. I was in a ball, in bed. I fixed all my food so that I didn't have to get out of bed just to go to the bathroom. I couldn't stand up and cook. So I made peanut butter jelly sandwiches, and I had a water, and that's what I ate for 2.5 days. And took 6 Motrins every 4 hours until I could get over the weekend, and then continue on with life.
You must feel like a whole different person now.
Life is so beautiful.
Yeah, it is. Sorry,
it was so beautiful. Yeah. I appreciate it. It's just beautiful. So yeah, so adoption, like I said, I thought about it, but I just knew that my lifestyle just couldn't deal with it. Couldn't deal with it. And yeah, Linda, yes, there are so many children waiting for foster care who'd be so thrilled to have a mom forever. That is so true. That is so true. I need to talk to my husband because we got them 2 boys, and whoo, Lord have mercy. They're good boys, but boys go through the boys' things.
Yes.
They do those things. And foster kids, it's a good consideration. Thank you, Linda. Foster kids definitely a good consideration. So thank you so much, Stephanie, for sharing your story. I think that's beautiful.
Thanks.
That is beautiful. And God bless your parents. God bless the woman and the man who brought you to this earth. And God bless the people who you call mom and dad, who took you into their arms and love you to death. Because it's an amazing thing when that can happen. It's an amazing thing.
It truly is. It has changed everything. Like my bio mom, she was 16 when I was born.
Mm-hmm.
So like her life was already chaotic, you know, being a kid, having a kid. So I'm so grateful for my parents for taking me in. And luckily I wasn't the only one in my family that was adopted. So it's not like they were alone going through this. And, you know, they had support, and I was never made to feel like, you know, that eyeball out, like I didn't belong. You know, everyone still believed that treated me like blood. You know, my cousins drank after me. I drank after them, you know.
That's how cousins do.
Like, your cousins, you can drink my juice. Okay. So, like, there's no separation. And even now, like, I did find my biological mother 3 years ago. And
awesome.
Even with me having her in my life, it's just filled with more moms. You know, like I have 2 moms and I have 2 dads. And I grew up as an only child, but now I'm the oldest of 4. So
beautiful.
Yeah. So I definitely don't waste your spirit. And not to say that you're wasting it at all, but definitely if you can touch the life of another child, you have a 32-year-old product of adoption here. And it's an amazing thing to know that someone has so much love in their heart that they would take in someone's child as their own and raise that kid. And oh my God, I'm about to cry. I did not hop on the wagon to cry. But it's just so amazing because to know that these people tried so hard to have a baby and they were not successful, and they still found it in their hearts to love me like the moment they saw me. Like, it changed my entire life. And they told me when I was so little, like, I made up stories about my adoption. I had people in daycare believing that I was an African princess.
I love it.
That's awesome.
So,
you might have been.
I might have.
Exactly.
You know, I went through different races. You know, I was Dominican for a little while because I didn't know who I was.
That's awesome.
Why not test the waters, you know? But no, I'm just black. But even still, like, it's just an amazing experience to go through. And I wouldn't change it. Even though I know who my mother is, I know who my father is, I wouldn't change who raised me at all. So if you find it in your heart to become a foster parent or even enjoy your step grandbabies when you have them, like, I
can't wait.
Yes.
I know.
Because at least with step grandbaby, or I don't even call them steps, because those are your sons.
Yeah.
So with grandbabies, at least you can give them back. You know, you can have your time.
Exactly.
You can send them back home, but your spirit just resonated with me so much, Renee. And I hope that some little baby out there gets to experience just the love that you've even put through on Blab. Like, go for it, have fun. Tell the husband I said we're getting some babies up at that house one way or another. Even if we have to borrow a couple, because I can understand what you've gone through just from seeing my mom's tears from time to time, just, you know, remembering stuff and just kind of reassuring her, even as a little kid, that she's my mommy. I love her. And that will never change. And so no matter what route you choose to go through, whether it's being a grandma, being a foster mom, adopting a child, know that that child is always going to love you because they're going to feel the love that you give them.
Oh, I love you, and I appreciate you so much for saying that. Mwah. Thank you so much. Thank you.
I'm going to hop out the seat. I just wanted to come in and share that because I like your spirit.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You have a beautiful, blessed day.
You too.
Thanks. Thanks. Tracy, would you like to add anything?
Wow, that was a really compelling story.
I
know a few people that are adopted. My mom is actually adopted, but
really
adopted by her aunt, which is, kind of weird, but it's interesting.
Yeah.
And then some other people that I know are adopted, and then went back and found their birth parents. And sometimes it doesn't go as smooth as, you might want it to. It sounds like Stephanie had a good story to tell about that. But
yeah,
I think what you're doing here is awesome. And I think are you planning on continuing like weekly or trying to build a base or something? I mean, I think it would be positive because then the thing with Blab is that people come here, they can find you and they can sit and have a community and talk about it. And then they can tell other people, like if they know, someone that's got the same infertility problem or whatever, then they can go, oh, at 1 o'clock on Sunday, there's going to be a Blab about that. You can go talk to them and hear about other people's experiences.
Yeah.
And I think it'll grow like that, that way if you have it continuously.
Yes, you're right about that because I was actually just going to make this like a one-time thing.
Oh, no, I think you should keep it going.
Thank you. And thank you for the blessings and for just bringing it up to me because, it's definitely needed because there are so many people who just don't have the platform of expressing. And that's what it's about. It's not necessarily, fix me.
No.
Because for that person, the fixing can come later. Right. It is about just being able to express and get those emotions out, get the feeling out, because that was the one thing I never had. I was able to talk. I kept it deep inside of me, deep in my soul for so long, and because I never had an avenue to.
Right. That's what I was saying. You have to at least know that there's someone else on the planet that has the same problem. And there's not only just one other person on the planet, there's a lot of other people on the planet that are going through what you're going through, and you don't have to go through it by yourself. There's a lot of love to be spread around. A lot of people just don't know, just haven't had an opportunity to know that someone has got an issue. Or like you didn't really talk about it, maybe because your family wasn't ready to hear you tell your story about how it impacted you emotionally. But there's other people that aren't your blood family that are definitely waiting to hear and help. There's a lot of compassion in our world.
Thank you. Just to let everybody know, this is being recorded, and I do have a Facebook group that is secret right now. And if you want to have a written discussion about it because you're still shy or it still hasn't come to a point in your life where you're really ready to expose it to the world, because this is to the world.
Right.
If you want to have the privacy of it, I do have a Facebook group that's called the Red Velvet Lounge.
Renee, can you put that URL down in the chat window?
Down
to the right and the bottom. Click down there.
I'm so new at this.
I know, that's why I'm helping you. I came across here just to help you.
Thank you. Oh gosh, you're a blessing. Let me give you some love here before I type this in.
So yeah, what you can do, like before you have a Blab, is kind of get some URLs together and be ready to copy and paste them in there. So if they come up, you can just drop them in there. But why don't you put your Facebook one in there? So when you're recording this, when you're done recording it, if someone watches it, I don't know if they see the chat window or not. But when you're done, it's kind of cool. You'll get a link to the recording, and it'll be on your profile, and it's fun. It's so easy.
Wow.
So what is your? Oh, I'll type it in there. Do you know what the URL is for your Facebook, or are you looking for it?
I am looking for it. I believe it's Red Velvet Lounge.
Red Velvet Lounge.
Let me see.
Oh, but it's a secret group, right? So if I
I'm gonna make it closed. I
Yeah,
think it's closed right now.
Yeah, I was gonna say, 'cause if it's secret, I don't think I can even find it. If it's a
Yeah.
closed group, I think I can find it, but
Yeah, I
that's
think you
that.
should be able to find it.
Let me see if I
Right?
can find it.
This is not typing nicely. There it goes. Oh, in the meantime, while Tracy is just beautiful and blessing us with that information, I do have a Facebook group called the Red Velvet Lounge, and that's where us women can get together and just really talk about what is going on in our lives, especially in regards to the ladies' parts and especially in regards to infertility or childlessness. That's where it is, where we could talk privately. Um, I have a business. The business name is innerginger.com, and the name Inner Ginger is stemming from my situation dealing with infertility and being childless. Because I felt my power was gone. I allowed other people to have decisions and dictate my life because I was just so weak in my soul in regards to it. Um, and I just we just as women we need to sparkle, we need to shine, we need to be sexy, we need to just live life to the fullest. And for some of us who are dealing with pelvic pain, that can be an issue that could really prevent us from shining and being gingerly, or that sassy ginger that we all need to be. That's all can be taken away just because of having pelvic pain, not living your life authentically, not being who you truly are in life. And so I created this business called innerginger.com, and it's innerginger.com. Did you find it?
No, I wasn't able. I searched Facebook, so I wasn't able to
Okay.
find it. And
Let me.
you have a public page, right? I mean, I went to your page and I can just follow you, so I didn't see your.
Yes, I do have a public page. Public page and my profile on Facebook. And that's where we can come together on Red Velvet Lounge and innerginger.com, where we can all come together and just be the beautiful women that we are. And that's it in a nutshell. It's just a place to be authentic. It's just a place to be you. We get to learn about self-care because that's one of the things that I very lacked in. Even as a wellness maven, I was very short in taking care of myself, taking those hot, beautiful bubble baths, just anointing myself, giving myself pedicures. You don't need to go to the spa unless you want to, but you could do this at home. But bring candles to your bedroom, bring candles to your bath, and just soak and just be and just live authentically. And that's what it's all about, because I definitely was not living my life authentically. Oh,
Your website is beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you. Let someone help. Thank you so much for posting the website for Inner Ginger. That is correct. It's www.innerginger.com. INNERGINGER.com. And thank you. And I'm going to see if I could get the Facebook page.
Yeah, see if you can get the Facebook page real quick. I have to go in just a minute, but
okay.
I want to see what the group is so I can ask to join.
Okay.
Is there someone else that let's see. Oh, by the way, let someone help. I like your handle with the one on there. Let someone help.
It's a beautiful thing. I love it.
That one's, you know how hard it is to ask for help? I mean, it's so ridiculous.
Oh my gosh.
We go through so many things and we just don't, ask for help.
It's so true.
I don't.
It is.
I mean, I guess other people do, but I just don't.
All right. So the group right now is closed. It's a closed group. And I'm going to put the URL, the Facebook URL. It's kind of slow. I'm in the chat and I'm trying to get it on, and for whatever reason it's very slow.
Yeah. Oh, maybe it's your connection or something like that. But put it down in there where it says type something cool. The pressure. Type something cool. I love it. I love this platform. Blab is so fun.
It is amazing. Oh my goodness.
To people this morning, I dropped off my daughter at choir, and then I have to wait a half an hour before the church service starts this morning. So I was sitting in my car, and I downloaded the app on my phone, and I went on to it, and there were some guys talking about, is world peace possible? And I'm like, oh, I just jumped in for a 10-minute conversation about world peace. I love it. It's so awesome.
Okay, this thing is really...
If you want to just tell me what it is, and I'll type it in there for you.
Okay. It is... Let me get back to the Facebook.
So, at the top in the URL window, it'll just say what the group URL is. You know what I mean?
Okay. It is actually, I put it in, and it's going through some strange stuff. Oh, my goodness. And I can't. Let me see if I could do it on the phone. I do apologize, everybody.
I'm holding my breath. I'm going to pass out soon, Renee.
I'm sorry. Oh, gosh.
Yeah, there's a lot of new stuff with this new platform. There's a lot of things to consider, when you're going to set this up and what you're going to do.
Yes.
I'm not really holding my breath. But I know, like last night I did a test plan because I want to do one on Monday nights. I personally am doing a goal setting session for the last quarter of this year. So if you want to challenge yourself by setting some goals, and then every week we'll meet and say, okay, so first of all, we'll meet and say, what are SMART goals? How do you set a goal that's going to be measurable and you're going to be able to, it's reachable or obtainable and achievable, I guess, and specific. And then every week we can come together and talk about how is it working? Are you moving forward in your goals? Or, and there's going to be tons of weeks where you're like, no, I didn't get anything done, but at least I'm here and I'm thinking, oh yeah, I have goals. I want to try to hit those. So
that is great.
So I met with I had one of my girlfriends get on with me last night. But I've been watching a lot of Blabs, and they say you should try to have a co-host so that when you're taking care of something, your co-host can kind of fill in, and say hi to people in the chat when they come in. And then before you get started, like I said, get your URL ready for your Facebook and your website so you can just copy and paste it into the chat window. Some little stuff like that.
Yes.
So it's easy. It's easier to kind of get through it. All right. Did you get it in there?
I got it in there. This thing was crazy.
Yeah. Oh, groups. I didn't have the /groups.
Okay.
Let me see what comes up for me when I do that. Maybe it's okay with you if I put my Facebook group in there.
That's fine.
And then
you can
join mine.
I like the goal setting because that's important.
Oh, it is. I do it for accountability. Like if I, facilitate a goal challenge, it actually makes me work on my goals as opposed to, that's something I have to do.
Exactly. So,
well, did you open this group up? Because I just hit. So it's not
it's closed. It's closed. I just got to approve it.
It's closed. It's not a secret group, though. Is that right?
Yeah, no, it's closed.
I'm trying to figure out what the difference is. Okay.
Yeah. It's a closed group. I made it closed so people could find it.
Yeah. Okay.
And I just have to approve people for coming on. So thank you so much, Tracy. It's beautiful and a blessing meeting with you. And I'm going to take your advice, and I'm going to do this every single week. And if anybody have any questions, like I said, if you're too shy to share to the world, and you want to keep it private, you could definitely check me out on the Facebook, which is facebook.com/Red Velvet Lounge. Or you could email me at info@innerginger.com, and we could talk there. We could chat through there too. So I'm going to end this, and thank you so much. Thank you for everybody who showed up. This is like I said, my very first one, and it was beautiful. Thank you. And thank you, Stephanie, for your input. You're such a doll. I am so happy for you, and life is just beautiful for you. And Tracy, thank you so much. Enjoy your daughter.
Okay.
Well, What's her name, if you don't mind me
Her
asking?
name is Bina. It's Bina.
Oh, that is beautiful. What does that mean?
She is something else. When we were pregnant, had a boy. We had a boy's name Jacob, and when we found out it was a girl, I was actually 35 when I was pregnant with her. So we did the amnio, and so we found out, that she was a girl right away. And so we just added the ina suffix to Jacob and called her Jacobina while we were pregnant. And then it was like too long to say, so we just started saying Bina. And when it got time for her to, be born, we couldn't think of another name that would suit this baby. We just were like, okay, we'll just keep Bina, I guess.
I love it.
Then we found out later it's a very common name in the Middle East. So there's a lot of people, in Iran and India. Like I played tennis with someone last summer. Her name was Bina, and she was from India. So it's like naming someone John. Like if you're an Indian, you name them John. But we made it up.
I love it. I love it. Well, even though she's 16 years old, congratulations, because it's a miracle, and she is a miracle.
Well, it was great to meet you, Renee.
Wonderful meeting you. I think this is fabulous. I love Blab.
I did too. We'll talk to you soon. I'm going to close out, okay?
Okay, thank you. Okay, take care.
Bye, Stephanie.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody, for being on. This has been an amazing experience. And words, I just don't have the words for it, because this is amazing. And if anybody who is actually dealing with infertility or being childless, and whether it's based on circumstances, based on your spouse not wanting to have any kids because he already has kids, anything in regards to that matter, I will be back next week to talk. And if you're open to share, please come on board and let's share. All right. This is Renee. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the hands. I really do appreciate this. I'm about to cry because it's a beautiful thing. Thank you again to all of you. Many blessings to you. May this week be the best week for you in regards to whatever goals that you have in life, whatever you want out of your life. May it come true to you. From my lips to God's ears and to the universe. Thank you so much. This is Renee signing off, and see you next week. Bye, everybody. Peace, love, and blessings.